In today's video, I want to talk about saving money and the exact percentages that you should be putting away every single month. Saving money is so important. I still to this day have problems saving money. I have trouble saving money, but you never know when things happen in life that are unplanned. Things like car repairs, home repairs, losing your job, having a baby like on accident or on purpose. They're super expensive. And worst case scenario, medical bills. Having a good safety net will keep you more financially relaxed. Being relaxed financially will cause you to live through life without stress and anxiety. Our common tendency when we have money is to spend it on dumb things that we don't need, like the newest pair of Nikes or like a brand new Mercedes. We think, oh, we have this money, we should go spend it. But it's the complete opposite. When you have money, that's when you should be saving it. Now, to get down to the point, here is my strategy. They're very solid percentages. This will work over time. When you earn money at your job, 100% of your money is not yours. Firstly, you have to give 10% back to the government for taxes. Now, this differs between what your tax bracket is, but on the lower end, it's approximately 10%. And on the higher end, if you're making a ton of money, it's 37%. So we're going to stick with 10% for the sake of this video. Now, say, for example, you make $4,000 a month. Now, this is a decent paying job, not the greatest, but also not minimum wage. This video is definitely not meant for people that have minimum wage. Minimum wage is barely covering living expenses, so work your minimum wage job until you can find a better paying job, then move to that job, then come back to this video and start this money saving strategy. So 10% goes to taxes, so that's $400 of your $4,000 immediately gone. And don't feel bad, it wasn't your money to start with. It is the price that you pay to make money in this country, so taxes are unavoidable. It wasn't yours to begin with. Now, 40% of your income should be used for living expenses like rent, food, utilities, and clothing. Now, I know this is a very small percentage of your money, but if you can live humbly and live off of 40% of your income, you'll be much better off financially through the course of your life. Now, 40% of $4,000 is $1,600 a month. And I know this is possible to live for $1,600 a month because people making minimum wage live off of $1,600 a month. So your living quarters, your apartment that you rent or whatever, should be under $1,000. The ideal range is anywhere from $700 to $900. If you live in Los Angeles, tough luck. Like, you got to move to like Montana or something. Your groceries, I'm allotting $100 a week, which is $400 a month. You can get a lot of groceries for $100 a week, and you can sustain yourself and your spouse. Now, $200 is a good range for utilities. I'm talking about minimal cell phone plans from Walmart or Cricket, and usually with your apartment, your utilities are included, but just in case they're not and you want internet or TV or whatever, that's going to be allotted in that utilities bracket. And then clothing and necessities are left over. With the amount that you can stay under $1,000 for your rent, that amount can go towards, shirts that have holes in them, or like, I need a new pair of pants, or I need a tie for this interview. Like, that money that you save on rent can go towards those extra expenses. Now, when it comes to saving money, there's two different ways. There's saving money and investing, and there's saving money to have a security net. I always suggest people have at least 1 year's worth of savings, because if you lose your job or you break your leg or something, not being able to pay your bills is so strenuous, so stressful in your life. It's ridiculous. So if you save money in your savings account in your bank and have 1 year's worth of all your expenses paid for with that savings account, you'll feel so comfortable. Like, even if, the world explodes, like, you will have a whole year's worth of expenses covered just from your savings. Now, your savings should be 30%. 30% of $4,000 is $1,200 a month. So if you break down the math and you make $4,000 a month, that's $48,000 a year that you need to cover as your safety net. So if you take that $1,200 and take the $4,800 that you make in an entire year, divide it by the $1,200 that you'd be saving every single month, it would take you 40 months or so to save up that same amount of money. So you're looking at a long time of saving. But this is for people that, aren't starting their own business. This is people that are just trying to be financially responsible over the course of their life. This isn't an overnight fix. This is not any get rich quick scheme. This is saving your money and being financially responsible. Now that leaves us with 20%. And I want you to really listen to this next part. This 20% is for, you guessed it, investing. 20% of your $4,000 per month is going to be $800. And I want you to take that $800 and every single month invest it. Get one of those personal finance apps, those investing apps, whether it's TD Ameritrade, Acorns, Webull, RobinHood. I suggest RobinHood because it's the easiest. Whatever you choose, I really don't care, as long as you take your money and put it into that investing app. Now, if you don't know anything about investing or the whole market or anything, just watch this video. It's a quick summary for the basics of investing. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to cover one stock that you should get. And this isn't one stock like an individual company. This is called the Vanguard Index Fund. And an index fund is a whole portfolio of stocks, and they have a stock price for this one thing. So as you're putting your money into this one thing, it's actually delegating your money to a full, well-rounded, bulletproof portfolio that matches the S&P 500. So if you look at the S&P 500 over time, it started off at the beginning of time and it's always gone up. Yes, there's been dips, but over the course of everything, it's always in an upwards trajectory. So the best place to put your money investing wise is in something like the S&P 500, but you can't buy a share of the S&P 500, but you can buy a share of the Vanguard Index Fund, which mimics the S&P 500. And statistically, it's gotten about like 9 or more % interest per year over the existence of it. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to undercut it a little bit and say 8% interest annually. Okay, so you're going to take $800 of your income every single month and you're going to put it in this. Say the retirement age is 65. I want to break down these numbers mathematically for you using the calculator on moneychimp.com. It's linked below. It's a free calculator. It's an awesome website. You get to put in how much money you put in annually, how many years you want this money to grow, and what percentage, and then it spits out an amazing number. It's actually really fun to play with. I do it as a hobby. Compounding interest is the most valuable tool that we have on this earth. Like, it's not linear growth of your bank account. It starts off small, but then once the compounding really, like the big numbers multiply and multiply, it skyrockets so high, it's not even funny. So I'm going to start this off at age bracket. So if you're 20, 30, 40, and 50, I'm going to tell you the numbers that if you put away $800 a month every single month until you're 65, these are the numbers. If you are 20 years old and you start investing at the age of 65, you will have $4 million in the bank. At the age of 30, if you start investing $800 a month, you will have $1.8 million. Do you see that huge 10-year gap? That's the difference. You're making over $2 million extra within those 10 years just from compound interest. If you're 40 years old, you'll have $760,000. And if you start investing when you're 50 years old and you never knew about compounding interest, or you weren't financially responsible enough to save and invest your money, you have $284,000. Now, I want to compare this to strictly putting your money in the bank, which is the worst thing you can do if you're trying to save and grow for retirement. If you take that same amount of money and just deposit it into your bank account when you're 20 years old to the point where you're 65, you have $432,000. That is a massive, massive, massive difference between 4 million, don't you think? The next age bracket, 30. You have $336,000. At 40 years old, if you start investing, it's $240,000, and at 50 years old, it's $144,000. I'm telling you guys, compound interest is the most valuable asset in your tool belt. Please use it. Please invest. I have a link down below to the RobinHood app. I have a link down below to all the apps. Whatever you want to do, sign up for one of these apps, and I'm going to put the stock symbol for the Vanguard fund underneath the description of this video. The earlier you start investing, the more financially safe you will be when you're retired, because when you're retired, you don't want to work anymore. You just want to enjoy it. But if you have $250,000 in the bank, you're going to last maybe 3 years, and then you're going to have to find another job. So invest wisely, save your money. The future of your family and you is up to you. So if you take my advice, you will be in a better position. I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take any of this as like the bulletproof end-all be-all financial advice because I don't want to get sued. This is just a strategy that you can use to be more financially secure in your life. Over the course of your life, you're going to change jobs. You're going to make more money. But if you keep these percentages in mind and use them always, you will be in a better position. So when you're 20 and you're making $4,000 a month, and then when you're 30, you're making closer to 8, and then as you get older, you adjust the amounts that you put into your savings, the amount that you use for your living expenses, and the amount that you use to invest. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of it. Please smash the thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one.